Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Resiliency Ninja with Allison Graham, who is me, your host. And this is another episode of Fu-Chaa Fridays. Fu-Chaa is the noise that a Resiliency Ninja makes as it swats Fu-Chaa problems out of its way. And I've got one problem I want to get out of your way, and that is the issue of being busy. Now, actually, in this episode, I'm not going to talk to you about how to get rid of the busy. I'm going to just encourage you to stop telling people you're busy. Please stop. Here's why. I'm actually going to give you 5 reasons why, and then I'm going to tell you what to say instead. Give you some ideas, at least, so that you can stop using this lazy answer to a natural question of, hi, how are you? Good, good. Busy. Oh, boring conversation ahead. As soon as somebody tells me they're busy, I'm like, yeah, going to be a boring small talk. Here we go. But it was interesting. Yesterday, I actually was doing a keynote, and I asked the audience, and we're about 250 people there, all incredible professionals. And I said, how many of you are busy? Every person put up their hand. Everyone. So being busy is not something that defines you. And that's the first reason why I want you to stop telling people you're busy is because it just makes you sound like everybody else. And that's not helpful because we want people to get to know you. We don't want to put up this shield of busyness that is holding you back from connecting with people. The next reason I want you to stop telling people you're busy is because it shrinks your value. It says, hey, look at me. I don't know how to control my time. I don't know how to say no when somebody asks me to do something that I don't want to do or I don't have time to do. Or it says I can't focus well enough to actually get things done in a timely manner. I remember when I was early in my decade of hell, and if you haven't heard my story, please go back to the very first episode where I share my story. And I had had a surgery that caused some neuropathic pain that I still have today, but I'm able to manage without medication, and I still work a fairly full-time life, even though I have some crashes. Actually, yesterday I was coming back from my keynote, and I drive myself now. So I used to have my mom drive me to my keynotes, and now I'm like, oh, I'm a resiliency ninja. I can do this. Fu-Chaa. And I ended up pulling off on the highway, one of the overpasses, and I slept for 2.5 hours and laid out, and I had to take that break because I was in too much pain to drive back. I digress. Anyhow, point is, we add too much on our plate. Interesting though, yesterday, knowing that I had a keynote, I did not commit to anything except for a social walk with a friend at the end of the day. And she was more than understanding to know that I was not physically capable of getting back to town on time and then going out. So, when we learn how to say no, when we learn how to set boundaries, we can be stronger and have more perceive value to people because we are not running around like a chicken with our head cut off. We're not making excuses. We are owning our calendar and our to-do list, which, by the way, is a to-do circle. If you read my book, here it is. Married my mom, birthed a dog, how to be resilient when life sucks. Now, if you're watching me on video, then you'll see that. If you're listening in the podcast, you won't see it, but you can always get a copy right in the show notes if that's of interest. I hope it is. Okay, so here we've got, it's a lazy answer. We talked about that. It does not differentiate you when you say you're busy. It shrinks your value and how people believe that you can control your schedule. It also stimulates a sense of being overwhelmed. When I stopped telling people how busy I was, it was funny because it was less about how people interpreted me and more about me feeling more in control of my schedule. I didn't feel like I was being, run by this busy-itis, this culture of our society that expects us to be so busy. As if you don't exclaim it, then maybe you're just sitting around on your couch all day long eating bonbons or something. Another reason, and by the way, the last reason is the absolute most important reason, so stay tuned. But another reason I would love for you to stop telling people you're busy is because if you are someone who chooses to be busy, so remember, this is not about you stopping being busy. This is about stop telling people you're busy. because it leads to annoying advice. Like people will say things like, you really have to learn how to relax, or you have to learn how to, put your phone down, or why don't you have fun? Oh, you work so hard. Yeah, you know what? I'm a business owner. Damn straight. I work hard when I choose to, and then I relax when I choose to do that. So I don't need anybody telling me that. And, it's so funny how many people get annoyed by those sorts of lines. And I'm like, yeah, but you're feeding those line opportunities, that annoying advice, you're feeding that opportunity to people to give it to you because you're telling them and complaining about how busy you are. The last reason I want to encourage you to stop telling you people how busy you are is because it can hurt your client relationships. I remember a friend of mine had a real estate agent who she used to sell her house. And that real estate agent was notoriously busy. Every time you talk to him, he had somewhere to go, something on his list, blah, 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 blah. And the challenge with that is she felt awful when she had to call him for a very legitimate reason. I have coaching clients and I make them feel like they are the only client I have, because I have lots on my plate and I'm not going to have somebody looking to me. I never want a client to feel like I'm too busy to take care of them, to help them, to do what I said to do, what they're paying me to do. And when we keep telling everybody we're too busy, then opportunities, we not only tell ourselves, but like energetically, we're telling the universe, don't send me anything more. I can't handle what I've got. Our clients, our referrals can go down. Do you think that friend of mine was going to send that real estate agent any referrals? Because no, he's way too busy. Our clients can feel like we're too busy for them and we're not going to give them the great service. And it just makes people not want to spend time with us because we're complaining about being busy. So that's why. So now what are you going to do instead? So next time somebody tells you, or asks you, how are you? If your natural answer is going to be, I'm busy, instead say, oh, you know what? I'm really excited. I'm working on this project. Or I can't wait for this weekend because I'm going to do this, and this. And that is a better, stronger, more professional way to answer and let go of the busy-itis culture. Don't buy into it. If you want more information on this, of course, you can always get it in my book, Married My Mom, Birthed the Dog, How to Be Resilient When Life Sucks. Because when we need to be resilient and we're living in this constant state of overwhelm, then we're not doing ourselves any favors. And we're actually making it harder to deal with our stress, our obstacles, and our adversity. If you love this, please do not miss an episode. You know what I'm going to ask you to do? I'm going to ask you to subscribe. That's right. Choose your favorite podcast platform and subscribe, please. Not only that, if you love it, please leave a review. That's the way that the various platforms decide if it's a good show or not a good show, is reviews. And it's the only way to let other people know that they need this information. So thank you for that. I appreciate all of the support. And I hope you love these episodes of Fu-Chaa Fridays. Fu-Chaa. Sometimes it's a Fu-Chaa. Sometimes a Fu-Chaa. You can make any noise you want. But sometimes you need to make that noise to bring you back to embrace your inner resiliency ninja.